Hello, we are with Dr. Przemyslaw Lubiatowski from Poland. It's a
Yeah,
pleasure to have you here.
it's a pleasure to for me to join you, and I'm really impressed as I see what you're doing with the people meeting. Really, I'm impressed, but also I thank you so much that you've been nice enough for me to pick me one of your guests and speak with me, and I'm really thank you for that. I appreciate it very much.
No, I thank you for giving me your time and the opportunity to talk about many things. I can see a beautiful picture behind you, uh,
Yeah.
very nice buildings, and that's your city, isn't it?
Yes, I wanted to take this opportunity because, as we spoke in Buenos, that I invited you back to our city. So at least we'll have a little bit of the city behind, because at actually that time almost we should be here in Poznan together and
Yeah.
spending time together for a Congress. So we cannot, for obvious reasons, but at least behind me there is my team, and we are downtown in Poznan.
Yes, in fact, I was planning to go. I have already organized and checked how to get there, as there is no direct flight from Buenos Aires, but it looks so nice, everything.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah,
I'm proud
so
to be from Poznan. Yeah, I hope it's still possible. I wasn't born in Poznan, but I live here for many years now, for
uh-huh.
probably over 30 years, and I live here, I work here, and I'm really enjoying being in the city of Poznan.
Okay, so let's begin with this. Where were you born?
I was born in Konin, which is actually right in the middle of Poland, not far away from Poznan. This is the same political area, the same region as Poznan is the capital of Greater Poland. That's how we call it. So I was born in the city of Konin, where my parents, my mother was born there. So I was, I rose there and I went to school there, to high school. My father is an orthopedic surgeon, so he
Uh-huh.
was an orthopedic surgeon in that city, in the city of Konin, for many years. Now my brother took over, and I went to Poznan. So I'm pretty common guest in my hometown. I go there like almost once a week. I still have a
Good.
clinic there to see my
Good.
patient once a week, but most of the time I enjoy meeting my parents, but also my parents-in-law. They come from the city. As my wife, I met my wife in high school, so we both come from Konin, which is a
Good.
little bit of
Sorry. It's
it's a
close.
little bit of east. So once you come next year and you're
Yes.
gonna come by to Warsaw, and if you take the train or drive, you will go through my city.
Well, I checked that there are many nice places where to go by train from
Yeah,
Poznan. Krakow
yeah.
is really very
Krakow.
well known all over the world, and there are many places where to go. In
Yeah,
fact, you sorry.
no.
No,
Please continue.
in fact, when I was, I think, 10 years old or something like that, I was supposed to prepare a presentation about the country at school, and
Right.
I got Poland. So I wrote to the Polish embassy or the Polish embassy, and they sent me a lot of information. So I
Amazing.
I am used to hear the name. They sound familiar, the name of the Polish cities, and I know about the history of Poland that is so rich with so many things going on and so dramatic for many
Many of
situations,
them.
because
Yeah.
unfortunately it was in the middle of many
Yeah.
empires and things, and was the victim of many situations.
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
so it is very nice to know that the country is strong now and everything's going on very well.
Yes, this is true. That's probably now we are in the situation that we did not have like for probably over 200 years. So it's probably the best time that we had for 2 centuries. And really we are enjoying. I'm lucky to be living in this and in those times, because it's very exciting. And things happen in my career over last 30 years that's that could not be possible for my father, for example, or for his father.
Mm-hmm.
And now we are really enjoying that, and like a very quick development that's actually happening all over the Eastern European countries like that. I've got a lot of friends that we share more or less similar experiences, and we are, you know, lucky to have this heritage. Because one of the things that over those years that we've been taught is also that you need to, I would say, to survive, you need to make something out of nothing many times, so that
Yes.
you know, it makes you much harder. But also within 30 years, we've seen so much that, you know, not many people have seen that. And also, everything has been very peaceful. We didn't go for any wars. We didn't have any, you know, violent times. I mean, maybe now times are getting a little bit rougher all over the world, not only in
Yes.
Europe,
Yes.
everywhere. But other than that, I'm really living very good times, and I hope really that you'll be able to come and see us, and we'll provide all of the participants from South America with all the information where to go once you come all the way. You know, the Europe is very easily connected, and it's
Yeah.
easy and quick to go by plane, train, or the car. And most of the things are like in 2-3 hours distance, and you can see a lot of things that are really, really amazing. So once you come all over through the ocean, it's worth to stay a little bit longer
Yeah.
and then see
Yeah.
around.
Yeah. That's generally the strategy, to stay at least 2 weeks to take profit.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Well,
Perfect.
count on us to spread all the information all over Latin America. I can imagine why you are an orthopedic surgeon. You know, my father is also an orthopedic surgeon.
Oh,
In
really?
fact, yes, we operate together my first rotator cuff, but was many, many years ago. I was a student at the university, so was a very, very completely different to now. You know, we put the patient in a plaster, in what we used to call an
Yeah,
aeroplane
sure.
plaster. So
Sure.
that was around 40 years ago, something like that. And how my father was a spine surgeon mostly.
All right.
You know? What about your father?
My father was an orthopedic trauma surgeon mostly. I mean,
Uh-huh.
he also started a lot of the things that he introduced, like arthroscopy to the city of Konin, which is like a district hospital. It's a hospital for like a huge area for the trauma. Now it's a hospital that's near the highway, so they have a lot of trauma for like covering probably over 500,000 population. So he was a trauma surgeon mostly, orthopedic trauma surgeon. So, you know, some he never told me to be an orthopedic surgeon. I just wanted to be one. I just wanted to be the orthopedic surgeon since the day I was, I don't know, maybe 6 years old. I knew that I would be an orthopedic
Mm-hmm.
surgeon. I pretty much believe that you might have had the same experience. So, you know, you just sort of infused me.
Yeah.
No other branch of medicine was interesting for me other than orthopedics. And, you know, one of the funniest thing that I remember is that he was getting this JBJS magazine that, you know, you would have very interesting colored pages and a lot of black and white pages. Like, you know, for someone who was like 6 or 7 years old, I wouldn't say, what do you print this black and white pages? The most interesting are the colored ones. So the colored ones obviously were the advertisement of arthroplasty.
Yes, at the beginning,
You know,
generally, yes,
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 a lot
yes.
of blood, and, you know, and that
Yeah.
was something that was
I remember that mostly they were hip, at my time, they were hip prostheses. The
yeah.
announcement.
But then later it was I think it was like 76, 78. There was a knee arthroplasty coming, you
Yeah,
know, white.
yeah, the
There was
next
a knee
step.
arthroplasty.
Yeah,
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 next step.
that's true. So, but and I understand that. And how did you become as a shoulder surgeon? How was the
So,
mechanism?
I did my residency in an orthopedic hospital in Poznań. That it's probably like a cradle of orthopedics for Poland. That's where the orthopedic. That's actually where the first university hospital started to be for orthopedics in Poland over 100 years ago. So it's a hospital with a huge history, with, you know, big names for those times before the war times, and then with a huge heritage. And I started residency, then quickly went to the Department of Upper Limb. At that time, upper limb was dealing mostly with hands, a little bit of elbows, some shoulder, mostly open stabilizations. And then arthroscopy started to be fascinating for me. You know, I was looking at those knee guys doing things like ACLs, you know, meniscus removal mostly at those times.
Yes.
And then I saw that there were a lot of shoulder patients that could benefit from that. And I, you know, started traveling, started learning. And I was happy to be probably one of the first, maybe the second or third shoulder arthroscopy surgeon in Poland, together with my friends, obviously, not only myself. So that sort of was smooth change from upper limb mostly to shoulder and elbow. But obviously, I'm very well trained in upper limb surgery.
Good.
Now focusing mostly on shoulder and elbow.
And is there someone that you recognize as your mentor? Is someone with whom?
Yeah, obviously, yes. I've got, I have like 3 mentors in my life that come from Poland. That's first one, obviously, is my father. No doubt about it. He was a mentor for me. Not even that that was like a normal influence on me, and the way he approached the patients and the way he operated so gently and, you know, with this modern techniques that were not very widely accepted, with, you know, respect for the tissues and things like that. So I got it from him. And then Professor Manikowski and Professor Romanowski, who were Professor Manikowski was a leader in hand surgery at that time. Then I switched mostly to Professor Romanowski, and those are the 3 leaders that were like, I would say, Polish fathers of my training. But obviously then I was lucky enough to go for the SACEC International Intra-European Fellowship together with my dear friend Markus Scheibel, and we traveled. And then since that I met a lot of guys like Alex Castagna, like Offer Levy, like Jaap Willems, and they until now they are like my uncles. I would say maybe godfathers for me.
Good.
And we always speak, hug, and, you know, and they've been in Poznań many times for our Poznań course that we've been doing for probably 20 years. So I think those are the main names that I could consider, like someone who I would watch in them, like also Christian Gerber, obviously, and you know, huge names like that.
Good. And did that young guy beginning ever imagine that was going to organize the European shoulder and elbow meeting?
Not at all. Not at all. One of the things that I wouldn't like to be so too, I would say, maybe emotional, but, you know, there's something in lives that sometimes you may feel that it's a little bit of magic behind, and you never know where your life is gonna go. And I didn't have like a very super long term plan. It's mostly like a gut feeling what I want to do. And then step by step, one of the things that my mother told me, that she would like me to be a European guy. And that's something that's, you know, got stuck in my head. And probably this is why we did what we did. Because it's never, I keep telling always that this is, you never work alone. That's not possible to work alone and do things alone. And I mean, I may be sometimes in the front, but I used to be in the back and always work like a team to do something good. And this is something that I think we are getting closer now.
Perfect. And give me some details about your plans. This year, we will have a virtual and online meeting.
I'm happy to share. Since we had to make a choice of canceling the Poznań meeting in real life. And we had over 1,000, almost 1,000, sorry, a bit less than 1,000 applications in terms of submissions of the abstracts. So this is something that you cannot ignore. And, you know, people have done their work, and it's very competitive. Usually it's between 20 to 30% acceptance rate. So the competition is very high. And if you would ignore it, that means that a lot of the job would be wasted. So we said to ourselves, when we talked about that with president of the SACEC, Mehmet Demirhan, and all the guys in the ExCom, Philippe Collin, that we need to organize something. And we came to a good idea of doing virtual congress. And we debated for a long time how it should look like, because no one has done it before. As you know, every virtual congress is something new. So we decided that we will replace it with virtual congress that actually starts next week. And we decided that we will do 4 meetings, 1 meeting every month, starting with September until December. And it's going to be one of the first Wednesdays of every month. And you can get it from the website. And we will always start with ICL, because it was, some people, most of the people, they come also for training. They would like to learn from experts. And we'll have ICLs, 2 or 3 parallel ICLs every time we meet for 1 hour. Then virtual workshop with the company, with industry. You need to respect the industry. They've put a lot of money, they put a lot of investment, and they've been loyal to us to support the research, and it's really important, and also education. And then it will be followed by presentations. So altogether, every Wednesday will be around roughly 2 or 3 hours of meeting. So we'll stay in touch as much as we can in those times.
Good. Yes, this is new, and we need to learn while doing it. So it is really amazing how things change in such a dramatic way, but there are many good tools that we are using now that we did not expect a year ago that we were going to be involved in these things. So it's a very good idea. And what about next year? What are the plans for next year?
Yeah, so we really hope that situation will settle. I've got a couple of observations. First of all, we are starting to learn how to live with the pandemic, because it will not go away very quickly.
No.
Second of all, if you look around yourself with your friends, people have such a strong feeling that they would like to meet. And then that's something that cannot be replaced with virtual congress.
No.
So we hope that we'll be lucky to meet in the next year. So we started our plans. We've got the dates. We'll announce the dates probably next Wednesday. It will be more or less the same. It will be the middle of September, the same year. And with this same scenario, I would say, obviously we'll have a new submissions, because the submissions will be presented during the virtual congress. But we'll prepare again the ICLs. Actually, we are in a very good place. We've been training for marathon, so actually we will be in a good shape. My team, and I hope we'll do it easily for you. We have everything prepared, so we are already ready, I would say. We just need to start over, or the handling of the abstracts and all other preparations. Other than that, we are already here for you, and hope the situation will be well controlled and you'll be able to come safely. Obviously, we put every measure to make a safe meeting. I spoke with one of my friends that we organize it. If we cannot do it next year, then probably whole world will be different.
Of course, yes, that's true. And I guess that you have traveled a lot with this profession, this way we have that we like to gather to be in touch. Is there any meeting that you remember especially because of your experiences, or?
Of course it's Buenos. Of course it's Buenos.
No, but I am not doing that. People will think.
I know. We did not set the answer, but I have to tell you, the Buenos Aires meeting was perfect. And there is no better way and better time to say it now. That it was really, really perfect meeting with. I have to tell you that you go to all those places that you go to different continents. Sometimes those continents feel exotic to you, as other continents may feel that they are exotic being in Europe, and it felt like at home. It felt like at home, really. And it was so friendly, so easy going to go around the streets, so easy going to go around the place and around the venue with meeting with the people. And so friendly. You've been nice enough to let me speak to your folks from South America, and really I get such a good appreciation. You are so nice people, and this is something that usually people also experience when they come to Poland. In the Eastern European countries are very nice, and the Poznan people, Polish people are very nice. So probably this is why I felt so good with you. And of course, organization was very nice. The way you presented this expert panel experts, expert panels, and different symposia and exchange of the research, and a lot of people have come from all over the place. So I was really impressed, and I know the European meeting. In fact, it's also international. Usually we have people coming from all other places of the world. So I was impressed, and something that I learned. So I enjoyed a lot coming for the Buenos. But I also have to tell you that I really enjoyed, since I was for the setting for the first time. I think it was in Germany, in Frankfurt. I enjoy coming for the SETIC meetings. The atmosphere is fantastic. Usually it's perfect. The shoulder and elbow society, it's getting bigger. It's strong, it's very active. And, we publish a lot as a part of the orthopedic world, but still the atmosphere among the people, it's really friendly. There's no competition. If there is any, it's very healthy. It's more inspiration than competition. And, even if we argue, we still like one another. And whenever you go, it can be Madrid, it can be Antwerp, it can be Bruges, or whichever the city, it's always very nice. It's always a good atmosphere. And it doesn't matter if it's sunshine or rain, because it's very nice. And people go for the parties, and people meet together and enjoy discussing.
Yeah. So, speaking with people from all over the world, it's like a consensus that we all agree that the atmosphere amongst shoulder surgeons is special. It's different, perhaps, comparing to other subspecialties. And it is good that it keeps on going that way, Perhaps the secret is that the people coming from Poland is the fourth biggest community in Argentina. That was perhaps the reason that you felt at home. But
maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
In fact, to tell the truth, most of them are living in the northeast of the country.
That's what I learned. That's what we didn't have enough time. I'm really regret that we should spend 1 week later, because 1 week longer. We spent 2 weeks, but it was not enough. Mm-hmm. We have another week.
To some point that the blonde people there is called Little Polish, Polaquito in Spanish.
Oh, that's very nice.
Most of them were coming from Poland. Okay. But it was nice to see that what I could feel was that most of the people were happy. The atmosphere in the Congress, walking around, was very relaxed, and it was very nice, very, very nice.
Yeah, so true.
For sure, will be the same next year in Poznan.
We'll do it.
Because the spirit is the same. And tell me, if I can guess that if you need to choose a procedure that you like or enjoy more doing, it is related to arthroscopic surgery. Which one is your preferred one?
Well, probably there's something in every one of us that you'd like to do new things, or you'd like to do the things that you do the best you can, and maybe the one that are advanced, that are the one that I really enjoy once I learn how to do them. So I like both elbow and shoulder arthroscopic procedures, procedures like calf repair, like arthroscopic latarjet, like elbow arthrolysis. This is something that we learned over the years, and we enjoy doing that with my team. And I enjoy also seeing the patients getting the results. So I think the ones that I enjoy most are the ones that I just mentioned.
Good. And how do you see the future of our specialty? What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be getting stronger and stronger, because I think it's probably depending on the country, depending on the area of where you live in the world. Um, you know, for like past years, I've been responsible for the Eastern Europe in SETSEC, in European Shoulder and Elbow Society, and I've been traveling a lot and meeting the people. And Eastern European countries, they're learning so fast and they are improving so well, that I think the shoulder and elbow surgery has still very long curve going up for the next, I would say, at least decade. And then we'll see what's going on. I have to tell you that I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but there's a chance that maybe we'll go more towards the getting even more specialized, like being just the shoulder surgeon or just the elbow surgeon, or maybe just arthroplasty surgeon, like as it happened for the knee. Um, Although probably the way we see it now, we think that we would like to be like a comprehensive surgeons, that they can do everything about the shoulder. So there is nothing that you would not understand. So you need to be trauma, arthroplasty, and arthroscopic surgeon. In my eyes, that it gives me most joy, that I can do everything.
Yes.
But maybe long term, we'll see that the procedures that are done only by arthroplasty shoulder surgeons, they will be, you know, the results will be the best, as has been shown by many registries, for the elbow at least, for example.
Yeah.
And in some countries in Europe, it's actually happening. You know, there are guys like Roger Van Rietz or Dennis Egendahl, they just do the elbow. And there are people in Denmark, they mostly do the elbows as well, or just the shoulders.
Yeah.
So it's not going to happen very soon in Eastern Europe, I guess, but in some countries, it may be the way to go.
Well, perhaps because 30 years ago, just saying that you were a shoulder surgeon would have been crazy, and it happened. So for sure, we will move to that. What the future will bring, without discussion, it's a great meeting in Poznan next year. There is no discussion about that.
I hope for that, really.
Good, good. Well, I can tell you that there is a big expectation for that, and especially having this situation that it was MOB 1 year ahead. And it is a special place. It's a place that is out of the places where usually we go to meetings. So it will give many people the opportunity to visit your country. So I think it will be very successful.
Thank you so much for that. I hope for that really, really a lot.
Good, Presmo. Well, thank you very much for having this time to talk about our specialty, and count on us to from our humble place, help in some way, in a very small way, but to help for the success of your meeting.
Thank you so much. Really, really, thank you. I really appreciate what you're doing, Daniel, and it's a great privilege to be one of your guests. And let me speak about our country and what we do in SETSEC in Europe. And really, as I told you, we are honestly saying that whoever from South America and wherever the place would like to learn anything and need some help, will be there for you to help, how to organize your meeting, not the meeting, but how to organize your travel trip, what to see, where to go, and we'll do everything so you'll feel at home.
Sure, I'm very sure about that. Thank you very much, and we will keep in touch, and we will meet next year in Poland.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.